what I want to start out by asking you is, for viewers who don't know, why are you refusing to go to Salem?
I'm actually not refusing to go to Salem. I'm in my Salem office right now. I've been here. The issue really is we're denying a quorum on the Senate floor. Otherwise, we're keeping a normal schedule. We're going to committee hearings and doing all the work of the Senate. The issue is the unlawful, uncompromising, and unconstitutional actions of the Senate president. And that involves many issues and multiple number of bills. But the Senate president decided that he wanted to move forward and doesn't believe he has to follow the rules or have to follow Oregon law. And we believe that the Constitution requires that he does. Thus, we are denying a quorum until such time as he is willing to follow the law.
What rules or laws, if you can briefly explain it, do you think he's breaking?
It's not that we think he's breaking, it's obvious that he's breaking. So there's clearly a Senate rule that requires that bills be read at a certain grade level. And that law is being violated, and there isn't any question about it. In fact, the judge who denied the temporary restraining order said that if he had to decide, he would say that it is, in fact, unlawful. So there's no question that that's the case. They're also moving forward bills that haven't gone through the proper process and that have unconstitutional elements in them. And every single bill currently is unlawful by the very nature of not following the readability scale.
So you've reportedly said that there are 20 different bills you wanted Dems to hold up. Can you maybe send us those bills? I know there's bills regarding abortion and gun laws, but what are the 18 others that you guys find yourself not agreeing with?
Well, actually, so the Senate Democrats killed the entire Republican agenda, 37 bills. And now they somehow want us to be a speed bump on the way for them to accomplish their entire agenda. And they want to do so in an unlawful, uncompromising way. And we've said from the very beginning that we will come back before this session ends to do substantially bipartisan bills and bipartisan budgets, because we believe that's what Oregonians want. And so there are, in fact, many bills, not just a handful. And that number, continues to grow because they move bills out of Ways and Means and they move bills from the House to the Senate. But there's no question that there are significant disagreements. But even if they set a few bills aside, until they decide that they want to follow the rules and follow Oregon law, we're not going to provide them a quorum.
And do you think it is fair to hold up bipartisan bills in the legislature by holding up?
We're not holding up bipartisan bills. Those bipartisan bills, if they're substantially bipartisan, we will suspend the rules and we will suspend reading on them, and they will end up passing.
And so, elephant in the room, you and 9 other senators have hit their 10-day absent mark. Under Measure 113, it states you are now barred from re-election at the end of your term. Are you out, Senator?
We don't believe so. So the Measure 113, we think the language of that is both confusing to the public and likely unconstitutional at the federal level. It'll be challenged in multiple ways. And I think there's a reasonable chance that that will be overturned. But when we moved down this road, we all agreed, we the 13 agreed that we were willing to risk the penalty to defend democracy. And you can't just have a lawless legislature where they follow the rules they want to and they follow the laws that they want to, and then they just pick and choose. That's not the way the process works. And so when they become lawful, we will be able to, I think, make progress.
So you did say that you believe there's a reasonable chance that this will be overturned. Now, nearly 70% of voters in the state of Oregon voted to pass this, saying they want any legislator who is absent for 10 days out of their seat, and that includes the majority of voters in your district. How do you respond to those voters?
Well, first of all, the measure was brought forward by the public employee unions and Planned Parenthood and Rob Wagner and Kate Brown, and it was fully funded by them. There was zero opposition to the measure. And had there been opposition and money spent against it, it wouldn't have gotten 68%. But nonetheless, despite the fact that it passed, it still has to be deemed lawful. It hasn't been challenged yet, and it has to be deemed constitutional. And we have heard from thousands of Oregonians that, in fact, they want us to hold the line and they want us to continue denying a quorum until the Senate Democrats act in a lawful way, want to be bipartisan, and want to act in a constitutional way. So we believe the people of Oregon are with us, and we're willing to risk the penalty if necessary.
Do you believe that Measure 113 is constitutional, or do you not know for sure yet?
Well, I'm not an attorney, but I've talked to several attorneys and they said there's significant problems with it. And with all things, it has to be litigated in the courts, and the courts will determine whether it's constitutional or not.
But this is a state constitutional amendment. So what does that kind of imply that it is constitutional?
It actually doesn't, because the grounds that we will litigate on are federal constitutional grounds. So the state constitution can't violate the federal constitution.
Okay, well, Senator, I know you're a very busy man, but if you have any parting comments that you'd like to share with us before I let you go, we'd love to hear them.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir, for meeting with me today. Appreciate it as well.
You bet. Yep,
Bye.
we'll see you.